Gene and Dave Show. The following program may contain strong language and brief nudity. But don't get your hopes up. After all, this is public access TV. This program was made possible from the support of VSA Texas
and Amerigroup.
I'm Gene.
And I'm Dave.
And we're the
Gene and Dave Show. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in and watching the Gene and Dave Show again. This time we've got a very special episode for you. We've been doing this for
10, 11 years.
Seems like forever,
so.
right? I know that we started doing it before Denver was even born.
Your son.
And now
Denver.
he's 11 years old. Come on over here, Denver.
How is that Denver doing, huh?
He's good. Look how big he is.
There's
He's just
my
as
buddy.
tall as we are, or taller than us
Taller.
now. So,
Well,
yeah, 12 years, 13 years of doing the Gene and Dave Show, and man, it has been a blast.
it's been great. And, you know, every year, Dave, we go to the South by Southwest conference. One of our favorite shows. And they keep inviting us back. They even put
Yeah,
our
we've done
names
several
up.
years.
They even put our names up on a marquee, which is really great. But what is your favorite episode from that South by Southwest?
My favorite interviews that we've ever done in all the years, and that is when we went to the robotics thing and we saw R2D2, the R2D2, and he talked to us, and he even said that his favorite show was the Dave and Gene Show.
Well, let's take a look at that.
Let's
and make
watch it.
sure.
So here we are, South by Southwest 2016, and I found a friend of mine. This is R2D2, the droid. Hello, R2. So R2, can you tell me what you think about the accessibility here at South by Southwest? Okay, well, if my R2D2 droid speak is good, he says it's pretty good. He's been able to get around. Lots of ramps on the sidewalk. So thanks for being on the Gene and Dave Show, R2.
What is your favorite TV show?
Oh, yeah, we want to know. What is your favorite TV show? I heard him. He just said the Dave and Gene Show.
Wow, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Our first intergalactic interview, and you did it.
Yeah, it was awesome. I felt just like Luke Skywalker.
We always have a good time at South by Southwest. But, you know, there's so many things we do, Dave.
Do you remember that time when you, which time? I think almost every South by Southwest, something goes wrong and you like our camera battery dies or the batteries die in the microphone. And I remember you saying, Dave, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some new batteries.
And I couldn't find them. We're going all over the place. And of course, later on, I found out I had them in the camera bag. But, yeah.
And I spent hours looking for you. Remember that scene?
I remember that. You looked all over.
Yeah,
but you're always looking for me at South by Southwest. This is typical, folks.
I just don't understand why at South by Southwest I never can find Gene. I mean, I know he's got to be around here somewhere. All these crowds of people. Have you seen Gene?
I don't know, Gene.
Okay, thanks. Well, he hasn't seen him either.
Wow, imagine that. Look who I found hanging out at the Nobility booth.
But we always end up at the Nobility table.
Right. And I usually find you either at Nobility or in the beer tent.
Yes.
One of those two places is where I should always start looking for Gene, because he's probably there somewhere.
Two of our favorites. But you know, we also do skits, folks. In addition to going out and checking out what's the latest and greatest for folks with disabilities, we do skits.
Yeah, we take topics and write little things and film short videos on those. I think one of my favorites is the Mr. Clueless.
And
Right.
Mr. Clueless, and by the way, Dave, you did a fine job editing. Let's take a look at Dave's handiwork. Come in. You must be my 3 p.m. appointment, Mr. Clueless.
Yes, I am. Thanks for seeing me. I'm here to get a disability.
I beg your pardon?
A disability. You are a disability specialist, and I'm in the market for a disability.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Would you like a temporary or a permanent disability? They both come with a free parking space.
I suppose I could maybe start with a temporary disability, and then if it goes well, upgrade to a permanent disability?
Very well, temporary it is. Now, would you like a visible or a non-visible disability?
I'm not familiar with non-visible disabilities.
Well, a non-visible disability would be something that's not obvious, say something like epilepsy or heart conditions or diabetes.
Now that probably wouldn't work. What's the point of having a disability if it's non-visible? I mean, isn't it harder to get pity that way?
Pity? Is that it, Mr. Clueless? You want a disability to get pity?
No, of course not. I'm interested in the work benefits.
The work benefits?
Sure, you know, come in late, leave early, take time off whenever need be. First, I considered becoming a soccer mom for the same reason, but it's probably a bigger change than I'm willing to make, if you know what I mean.
Well, I can see you're acquainted with several stereotypes.
Oh, stereotypes are very convenient. They save time.
Mr. Clueless, I think you've got the wrong idea. People with disabilities, according to a study by DuPont, are more punctual, work longer, and have fewer sick days than their non-disabled counterparts.
Oh, I'm probably too lazy for that. Could you recommend another career path, something with high pay and low accountability, low responsibility?
Have you considered Congress? Yeah. Thanks to Chris over at Seton for
Oh man,
for
Chris
helping
was
us out with
amazing.
that.
He fit right into that role, and he just milked it for all it was worth. So, yeah, thanks, Chris, for doing that and being part of the Best of Gene and Dave show.
And you know, Dave, part of our show is informing people. We do something called infotainment, entertainment and information. And you informed the public about how handicap placards work, and you did it in a rather unique way.
Yeah, it was part of a conversation we were having in our interview with Ron Lucy, where he was talking about, you know, it's legal to have a placard, but it's illegal to sell it, you know, on the market. And they were finding them on Craigslist, and people were selling the placards on Craigslist. And I thought about the old scene from Pulp Fiction, and I had to redo it.
Okay, so tell me again about the placards. What do you want to know? Placards are legal to sell, right? Well, it's legal, but it ain't 100% legal. I mean, you can't just roll into some parking spot and jump out of your ride. I mean, they want you to have a real disability to use the actual spot, and those come from the doctor. Yeah, it breaks down like this, okay? It's legal to buy it, it's legal to own it, and if you're the proprietor of a placard, it's legal to sell it. But it's illegal for the guy that bought it from you to use it for parking in a disabled spot. But if you sold it, that doesn't matter, because get a load of this. The guy that bought it from you gets busted. Oh man, I'm selling mine. That's all there is to it. I'm selling. I know, baby, you dig it the most.
Did I sound like Samuel Jackson?
Yeah, it convinced me.
All right, well,
It
cool.
convinced me. And we there's so much we try to explain here. Here's another skit we did, Because You Are Disabled, or Because You're Disabled, perhaps is a better way to pronounce it, but here you go, folks.
Go ahead and go meet your office mate. I'll be back in a while and we'll go over your new employee manual.
Oh, you must be the new employee. Oh, we're going to be working closely together.
I can't work closely with you.
Why not?
Because you're disabled.
No, I'm not.
You're wheelchair bound.
Well, I'm not bound to anything. Unless, of course, I go into a bar. Then I am bound to drink.
But you're still disabled.
Look, you don't have to whisper. Everyone here knows it.
But here's the thing, I've just never worked with anyone who's disabled before.
Well, I've never worked with a knucklehead before.
Hey, who are you calling a knucklehead?
All right. Maybe we got off on the wrong wheel. I mean, the wrong foot here. Let's start all over again. Hi, my name's Gene. You must be the new employee. Shake my hand.
I can't do that.
Why not?
Because you're disabled and I'm afraid.
Afraid?
No, I'm afraid I might catch what you got.
What I've got? You mean good looks, boyish charm, a quick wit?
No, I mean I might catch your disability.
Oh, I've got a spinal cord injury. That's hardly contagious. Look, shake my hand. I won't bite. Ah! You gotta loosen up, buddy. I'm just playing you. Just tell me, why can't you work with someone that's disabled?
Because I haven't known anybody who's disabled.
Oh, okay, well, so we just need to get to know each other. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, you tell me about yourself. Once we get to know each other, we can work together. All right, let's see. I've got several college degrees, had a federal fellowship. I was once a self-made millionaire. I've traveled in 44 countries. I've won numerous awards for both work and community service. I've enjoyed adventure sports including skydiving, paragliding, sailplaning, snow skiing, sailing, scuba diving. Let's see, I made an expedition to Mount Everest Base Camp.
That cannot be true.
Why not?
Because you're disabled.
Look, being disabled doesn't mean unable. It just means we do things differently. Look, as long as we're going to be working in the same office together, we need to be able to get along. Tell you what, in another week, if you feel the same way, I'll ask for a transfer. How does that sound?
Okay, but you're still disabled.
Yeah, well, you're still a knucklehead. Come on, I'll show you around.
Hey, you think I can get a ride in that thing?
It'll cost you a quarter. Again,
It seems
thank-
like everything we do with Chris
Yeah.
turns up on the Best of Gene and Dave show because he fits right in and does such a great job.
he does, and thanks to the folks at Seton for letting us use him and their offices as well.
Yes, yeah, it was a good backdrop for filming too.
You know, Dave, one of my favorite shows was the Albuquerque show.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I was under the weather and unable to go, but my gosh, you did a marathon drive there.
We did. I drove all night long, drove through the night. Denver was young, and he went with us, and we made it into a family vacation. We were invited to go to the conference, the Southwest Conference for People with Disabilities, and interview folks. And I met so many amazing people that do amazing things. But man, it was a long haul. It was a long drive.
Well, let's take a look at some of the
But
amazing people.
Even
met.
though you couldn't be there when we aired the episode, we made it look like you were right there.
we sure did.
Hi, I'm Dave from the Gene and Dave Show. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico this week at the 2012 Southwest Conference on Disability. I'm going to be going around interviewing, talking to people, and finding out what brought them to the conference this week.
Gosh, Dave, you know, I used to live in New Mexico, and oh, what a beautiful state. The people are beautiful. It's like one huge playground. And we're here at the time of the balloon fiesta. You'll see balloons of every size and shape. And then the balloon is from all over the world. So it's really a great time to be here in New Mexico. And let's not forget the mariachi.
The pleasure of talking with Emmanuel of this wonderful film, Emmanuel's Gift, right? And this is your movie.
That's my movie.
This is your movie, and it's even narrated by the wonderful Oprah Winfrey. Emmanuel, I heard that you were going to be here, and so I said, well, I've got to get a copy of this movie and watch it. So I bought it on iTunes so that I could watch it on my phone on the way up here. And as I was watching it, Denver, my son, took the phone and kept watching it. And he's watching Emmanuel's Gift, and this guy with one leg who's in Africa and riding a bicycle. And he's going through this stage right now where we've told him, you need to start riding your bicycle without training wheels. So and here he sees a guy that's only got one leg, who's disabled like his mom and dad, and he just keeps watching it and watching it and watching this movie, and he's just enamored by all the other people too with disabilities that are swimming and going across country and doing things, and what a wonderful, inspiring movie that even a 5-year-old has gotten into. And then we got to the hotel, and I saw you, and I went up to introduce myself, and I told him that this was Emmanuel, the guy that was riding on the bike.
Yeah.
And you added the one leg part, and his face just lit up, right? And he got so excited.
It's true.
And then you offered to actually show your leg to him, and that really got him excited.
It's true.
Yeah. So tell me, so you're an artist, obviously a painter of using very bright colors. But I see you wearing the dark sunglasses, so I think that's kind of a dead giveaway. You're a blind guy.
Yeah.
So how do you paint art?
Well, I have to say, at first when I started, it was my dirty little secret because I was pretty sure I was crazy, the whole idea.
Really?
So I didn't tell anybody that I painted. So I'd go home and I'd paint. And the first couple of shows I did, I didn't tell people I was blind even, because I figured people would think, oh, that guy's nuts. So, but it's really, whenever I was sighted, I love to draw, I love to illustrate, draft, but I didn't start painting though until I lost my eyesight. And the way I do it is just through touch. So everything that a person's eyes do for a visual artist, for a sighted visual artist, I replace with my hands. So whenever I draw a line, instead of a line that I can see, it needs to be a line that I can feel. So everything is through touch. The way I handle color, the way I change color, is all through texture, the way the color feels, and also through like a mixing. So just knowing so much of this color with another will make a certain color. So does that make sense?
Exactly. How do you know what is red or what is blue?
Well, if it's an oil paint, well, all the tubes and everything in my studio are brailled. So whenever it comes in like from the store, I have to ask somebody like, is this a Crimson we bought? And they're like, yeah, okay, so I'll label it.
Okay.
Then after that though, that's all the help
They
that.
don't sell Braille paint.
That's true. That's
Why
true.
don't they do that?
I don't know. They're missing out. I think I'd buy it. So they're missing out on one sale at least. But yeah, but after that though, that's all the help that I want from the studio. And from then on, it's me mixing paints, and I'll change the way it feels. Like for oil paint, I may make if I'm going to mix a gray, I may make the black kind of runny like oil, and a white thick like toothpaste. So they actually feel different. So when you touch them, there's no, what's white, what's black. And if you want to make a gray halfway between, you make a texture that feels halfway between. And it's really a precise way of mixing color, because your hands, you have 200 touch receptors on the pad of each finger. That's really good at knowing how something feels. And with practice, you just you can really pick up on slight changes. Yeah, it was one of the reasons that I started painting, was to reconnect with people. I was so angry at losing my eyesight and also there was a disconnection. I think sometimes with certain disabilities, and vision's one of them, whenever you have it, people don't know how to relate to you necessarily. Like, they don't know what you pick up on. They don't know what you perceive or understand. So painting was one way for me to reconnect with people and say, hey, I'm still in here. I still understand. So it was important for me to actually paint people that were real people, and objects that were real objects that people could look at and say, oh, yeah, that is that person. But there's actually some things for the non-visual sort of skills bring to visual art that's better than eyesight. And one of them is being able to pick up on detail. So whenever I feel a person's face, there's a method that I use. It's haptic visualization, touch to sight, where I break down a person's face. Like if I'm feeling their ear, I break it down into 3 sections. Those sections break down into other 3 sections. When you're touching, you're expecting to feel a certain angle, a certain line. If you don't feel it, then you just remember how it differs. But it sounds complicated, but it's really not. Every part just flows into the next part, and it makes it where you can build a map that everything is like a puzzle that just comes together, so that by the time you're through feeling that person's face or whatever it is that you're painting, you have a complete little puzzle that just locks together. And if you remember one piece, then that leads to every other piece. So it sounds a little complicated, but it happens really quick.
Hey, are you the useless fucker that hangs around with Gene?
Well, yeah, I guess you could say that. I am Dave of the Gene and Dave Show, and you are?
Hi, Gene. Jim Parker here.
Hey, Jim, nice to meet you.
Pleasure, Dave.
I hear that you're the individual that got us here.
Well, helped. Gene, and I've known Gene too long, actually, and I tried to get him not to come.
Some of those artists are just amazing. The one gentleman, the blind painter.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet you he never painted a porcupine, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because he'd have to touch it to feel what. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to call him and find out.
But that took a physical toll on your body. I remember seeing one scene where you were just laid out flat. So we applaud you for your effort there, Dave.
It was a long drive. I took one for the team, but we had a really good time.
Speaking of taking one for the team, we try to help vendors of medical equipment out there to do a better job, make better products.
Right, and I'm not the only one that travels, Gene. I mean, you travel a lot more than I do. In fact, you've been to how many places?
Traveled in 44 countries so far.
44 countries, and as you go to those countries, sometimes you find out your wheelchair doesn't quite work out the way you had hoped it would, right?
That's right, and that's when I try to let people know this is how you got to make a wheelchair, and this is why. So we put together a little skit to explain how and why we need the wheelchairs we do. introduction. Sincerely, Gene R. Rogers. You know, in order to get enough outdoor recreation, I need a really good chair. So I wrote this letter to wheelchair makers. Let's read it back and see how it sounds. Dear wheelchair maker, please build me a new wheelchair. It must be small enough so that when I take the rear wheels off, the chair will fit on your standard elephant. Or, with the rear wheels off, I can sit on the bow of a riverboat to explore the Costa Rican jungles. Or fit in this elevator in Italy. Or get carried down the steps into a long-tailed boat in Thailand to explore the floating market. When I'm scuba diving, I leave my chair in the boat. Sometimes I just ride back on the flying bridge of the boat. I relax on the beach afterward. Therefore, the chair must be resistant to saltwater sea spray. The chair must be resistant to extreme temperatures and high altitudes, so I can take it with me when I go skiing in the Rockies, trekking at Machu Picchu in the Peruvian Andes, or camping in the Himalayas with my Sherpa friends. It has to be easily disassembled, so I could put it in a doko on the back of a Sherpa. Sometimes my chair and I get carried separately, so I want to spot it easily. I'm thinking painting it Hummer yellow will help. The chair must be easy to take up or down steps. It must be easy to portage wherever I go. The chair must reflect my personality. It should be rugged, yet handsome. Oh, it has to be cool enough I can still have fun with the ladies. Please put an anti-theft device on my chair so no one takes it when I get out of it to go skydiving.
Hey, look! Someone pushed Tom Cruise out of the plane.
That's not Tom Cruise. That's Antonio Banderas.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway. Looking for adventure. And whatever.
Paragliding. Parasailing, sailplaning, or bungee jumping. The chair should have shock absorbers on it so I can have a comfortable ride, whether I'm stacked with luggage or riding in the back of a pickup truck. Oh, and make it impervious to the desert sands. Sometimes I just don't know what to expect when I go traveling, so make it small and light enough to fit on this three-wheeler in the Philippines, on this stair machine in Japan, in this safari truck in South Africa, and on this footbridge in Costa Rica. When I sail on the tall ship Tenacious, I like to sit on the bowsprit. I also like to take my turn at the helm, and definitely don't want to flip backward when we hit the big waves. So I used these sea legs my brother and I invented to keep upright. Occasionally, I'll go to the crow's nest to get a better view. So I want a chair that's easy to haul. That goes double when I'm lifted out of one of these zodiacs. It would be both embarrassing and dangerous if my chair fell apart and I was dropped into the ocean. The chair must be strong enough it'll not fall apart when I check out the cliffs in Socorro, New Mexico, or when I go bridge swinging in South Africa. Sometimes I just like to hang around. Did I mention it has to be cool enough I can still have fun with the ladies? Last but not least, it must be low enough I can win the next limbo contest. Sincerely, Gene R. Rogers. Yeah, that letter should do the trick. Wow.
In your chair, you got to look good for the ladies.
That's
It's
right.
like the number one thing, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we won some awards for that one too, right?
Yeah, we did. We got some attention for that, and the only reason we haven't been able to sell it to wheelchair makers is because there were actually, I think, 5 different wheelchairs shown in that video. But we always have a good time with stuff like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, Gene, I think when we first started out, you know, we wanted to do this infotainment, and thought we have to go down to the legislature. I mean, we're in the capital of Texas, right?
Mhm.
So we need to go to the Capitol building and see who we can find and interview. And it was our very first show on politics, right?
And we wanted to show folks our claim to fame, our brush with greatness. So we wanted to get a picture with one of the Capitol's
The state representative, Patrick Rose.
Exactly. Let's see how that went.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm telling you, this is a great place to sit. I know celebrities come through here all the time.
Right here in the Capitol, this corner?
You darn bet you. And once in a while we get real lucky and see a legislator. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Let's,
Hey, who's that?
well, that's Patrick Rose. Oh man, Mr. Rose. Do you mind? Can we get your picture together?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, man, Dave, I can't wait till our friends see a picture of us.
Oh, yeah, you can help me with that.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
that'd be super. Just
All right.
I think it's the top middle button pressed down there.
Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Great. All right. Thanks.
Oh, thank you so much.
Have a good
Really
day.
appreciate
Yeah.
that. Really
All right.
appreciate your time.
Welcome to your capital.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
This would be great to show our friends.
Look, here it is. Here it is. Look, here we go.
Just
Just you and me.
No, Patrick.
No, Patrick.
Well,
I think we really wanted him to be in that picture,
in that
right?
picture,
Not
okay,
take
yeah.
the picture of us, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was early on. We made a few mistakes, but it's important to get out there and meet your reps and such. So we're here to do that.
Yeah, speaking of early on, another memory that I have of the Gene and Dave shows, when you were on the big health kick.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like, come on, Dave, we got to do more stuff on health. We got to get healthy. You know, we're going to be doing this show for a long time. We got to be healthy. So you said, let's go to Milk and Honey.
Yeah, we're not the kind of just sit around the studio.
So we wanted to get out. So we went to Milk and Honey.
That's right, Dave. A great spa here in Austin, and they helped us out quite a bit. So we thought we'd include top 10 reasons to go to Milk and Honey.
Yeah, we had to. I mean, we got to compete with the late night show, right, with David Letterman. So
That's right. We didn't show.
we did our own.
We didn't show all the top 10 here, but here's a taste of what that was like. Dave, every now and then I like to pamper myself, and what a better place to do it than Milk and Honey downtown. It's a great place to come in, relax, really get treated like a king.
Yeah, I guess you are being treated like a king, and you don't see that on any TV show. Welcome to the Gene and Dave Show, and guess what? You're watching our health episode. We're talking all about health today, from everything that you do externally to your body to internally. We're going to have some great recipes later on in the show, and right now we are at Milk and Honey, and Gene is being pampered.
Yeah, you're going to want to stay tuned for our top 10 list, too. Top 10 slogans for Milk and Honey. And we're at Milk and Honey because it's part of our wellness part of health. Lizzie is the PR person over here at Milk and Honey downtown, and she's going to help us with our top 10 list today. This is the top 10 slogans for Milk and Honey. All right.
That's straight from the Gene and Dave Show.
Yep. Number 10.
Because you deserve it.
That's right. I know I deserve it. Okay. Number 9.
Make a gift to yourself.
Yeah. Be a great gift for your wife. Okay?
That's right.
Or husband.
Or husband, yeah. Number 8.
Relieve your stress.
It made me tired. I don't know about you, Dave, but Dave, are you awake? Are you sleeping on?
Yeah, oh man, I'm here. Oh man, I am relaxed. Oh, just being treated like the king.
You're really loving it here in Milk and Honey, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I am. Man, I had no idea.
I think maybe the both of us could just retire here. Say, Lizzie, would you give me another M&M?
Sure, what color this time?
Just blue.
Only blue, got it. There you go.
So why only the blue, Gene?
Hard to believe, Dave, but there have been some articles on the web recently about blue M&Ms curing spinal cord injury. And hey, if I want to get healthy, I gotta get cured, right? It actually turns out it's the dye, the blue dye, that cures spinal cord injuries, at least in experiments on rats. You folks can read about it on the web. I'm not making this up. And on that same show, of course, we did exercise over at the Wheelchair Fitness Center. And oh, hey, look at that braid. Pretty sharp, huh? I've probably got about 200 pounds on this machine right now. Here I am exercising my lats. And not only is it good exercise, but I can stretch my arms out this way, stretch my shoulders out, and it just really feels good to stretch out every now and then. Here I am on the hand cycle, and you can see that I'm using some ace bandages to wrap my wrist around there, keep them in place, and of course Larry's there encouraging me, really motivating me, so I'm really working harder. I want to show him I really appreciate his help there. He's kind of surprised on how fast I'm going, but hey, I'm here to work out. I'm really here to get going, get buffed up. But I wasn't the only one that was exercising, Dave.
Yeah, you got buffed up riding the hand bike, right?
I did.
Right. So, and then your big health kick inspired me at when we were doing Actual Lives to actually do a piece on Richard Simmons. Mm-hmm. And I donned the wig, and well, regrettably, let's look at that clip.
See if you could pick out Dave.
Everybody out there at home better be doing it too, and don't use that excuse for sitting down. Starboard, starboard. Starboard, starboard. Reach for your towel. Way up high. Way up high. Reach for your green. Upside down. Way high. Way high. I don't see you doing it.
Oh man, that was a long time ago.
A great shoot. I love that.
But part of health is eating, right? So
Exactly.
you had to go eat.
I had to go eat. I'm I'm sorry you couldn't be there.
Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't invited to that shoot.
I enjoyed some darn good food.
But the
with,
food looked really good.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it.
Welcome to the Gene and Dave Show. We're here today with Mikhail Davenport, who's an excellent chef, and we're lucky today because he's going to cook us up some of his specialties. Mikhail, thank you so much for having us here today.
It's my pleasure indeed. Good to have you in my home.
Thank you. What kind of treats are we going to cook up today?
Well, we're going to do something a little Japanesey and a little Tejano mixed together. We're doing a Tsunamono salad, which is a cucumber, vinegar, seaweed salad with green onions, and we're doing the what is known as temaki, which is a cone roll type of sushi. But we're not using fish, we're using filet mignon that we're going to rub down with some spices and gently cook very quickly just to take the edge off of it. Don't want to get it too cooked, otherwise we lose the sushi concept. And we'll roll that up with some pico de gallo and some alfalfa sprouts.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
I think you'll like it.
Let's get started.
Okay, great.
That sounds like it's a great way to keep things in. A lot of us are just too lazy.
Well, you know, there isn't a single person, just regardless of their disability, who cannot exercise. They have some wonderful pieces of exercise equipment now. One especially that I like is what's called a stand-up rack. And you roll your wheelchair into it, and if you are a quadriplegic or a paraplegic and can't stand on your legs, you roll into it, you then take these handles and move them back and forth, and just like an elliptical trainer for like a Nordic track, you know what there, it literally pumps you up into a standing position. Serve our salad up. I think that's enough for you, Boyle?
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right, good. All right. Okay, so we've got our rice down now. The first thing we do is we take some of the meat. It's a very simple process. Just lay it in there. One more. Let's get a nice long piece here. There we go. And we press it down onto the rice. This one happens to use red onions. You can use sweet onions, whatever you feel like using.
Oh, I love the aroma of that cilantro.
It's great. You just put a little bit on there like that, about a tablespoon or so, and then you fold the nori up like that, and then wet your fingers, and you wet the outer edge here and fold it over, and then you wet this outer edge and roll it into a cone, just like that. So it looks like one of those Nutty Buddies. Remember those?
Sure. Oh,
with the ice cream cone. Okay, so there's that one.
You know, Dave, another one of my favorite episodes is Behind the Photos with Tom Olin. Tom Olin is perhaps the most famous photojournalist that covers disability events, particularly ADAPT actions. But Tom was explaining to us what was going on behind the photos, what inspired him to take the photos, or what was happening at the time that a lot of people never hear about.
Right.
So let's.
It's always good to know the story behind the photos. You know, now you know the rest of the story.
Exactly. Let's get a glimpse of what Tom had to say.
Actually, the flag itself is a interesting story. It was actually done on a kitchen table, and we didn't know what it was going to look like. We had gone out, Mike Allberger, who was working with Wade Blank in Denver at doing Adapt. Diane Coleman and I, said, okay, we're going to Philadelphia. We need a flag. That's the birthplace, and we'll make our own flag. And so we got this American flag, and we took the stars off. And said, well, what are we going to do with the stars? Well, let's first just make the stick of
the symbol of accessibility.
Right, the access symbol, and it kind of looked pretty good.
Which was just the stick figure there?
Yeah. Well, the stars made the
Oh, and then you decided to use the stars?
Yeah, we used the stars, and that flag, actually, the flag that you see there was buried with Wade Blank. There too, but it was so funny. We're all like putting stars in, and Babs Johnson was also there, and Diane and myself, and all of a sudden I jump up and say, "Where's my camera? This is Betty Ross. This is like I've got to get my camera and take some pictures of this."
Boy, Tom's a go-getter.
He is. He really is. Yeah. But speaking of go-getters, we're a couple of go-getters ourselves.
That's right. It's how this show all started, right?
And how did the show all start, Dave?
So we were doing Actual Lives, which is the theater troupe where people with disabilities and some without get together and write stories of their lives and the troubles and traumas that they go through with having a disability. And one of our shows that we were doing, we were working really late and not getting much sleep all the weekend because the next weekend was going to be the show. And I remember going home that night on Sunday night and thinking, oh man, I don't even know I'm so tired, I don't even know who's helping me tomorrow. What attendant is coming to help me get out of bed? And I just kept going through my mind, who works Monday? Who works Monday? And then it dawned on me at like 2 o'clock in the morning, oh man, that would make a great Actual Lives skit, is to go back and do the old Abbott and Costello. So I remember we had rehearsal the next day, and I thought, man, who could I do this skit with? And I immediately thought of you and thought, wow, Gene would be the perfect person, because he has attendance too, so he knows that.
That's right.
He kind of knows, when you're laying in bed at night wondering who in the world is going to help you the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we got home from that rehearsal, you'd already gotten home, drafted up the script, and emailed it to me.
I was excited about it. It was a great idea you had.
Yeah, and instead of doing it on stage, we thought let's film it, because you had a friend that was a good cameraman.
Andy Cochran, yeah.
Yeah, and Andy came out, and we filmed it in the library of your apartment complex, and well, here it is. Let's watch it. Gene, man, thanks for having me over to watch the new episode of Gino's Place. I can't wait to see this one. By the way, some new guy let me in. I haven't met him before. Did you get some new attendance?
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of new attendance. I just got a new home health agency.
Man, I don't know how in the world you keep them straight. And I suppose you know all their names.
Oh yeah, I memorized them all.
Well, what are they?
All right, I'll tell you their names, but the attendants nowadays have funny names, nicknames like Snoopy, because it's always doggy. But I'll tell you their names. Now let's see. Who works Monday? What works Tuesday? I don't know works Wednesday.
No. That's what I'm trying to find out. That's what I'm asking you. I'm wanting to find out what their names are.
I say, who works Monday? What works Tuesday? I don't know works Wednesday.
You're the employer, right?
Yes.
And you don't know the guys' names?
Well, I should.
Well, then who works on Monday?
Yes.
I mean, the dude's name.
Who?
The guy that works on Monday.
Who?
The man that works on Monday.
Who works Monday?
The attendant.
Who works Monday?
I'm asking you who works Monday.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Look, you got an attendant who works on Monday.
Certainly.
So, who works Monday?
That's right.
When you pay the attendant who works Monday, every week, who gets the money?
Every dollar.
Look, all I'm trying to find out is the guy's name that works on Monday.
Who?
The guy that gets the money.
That's it.
Okay, who gets the money?
He does, every dollar. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
Look, all I want to know is when you sign up the attendant who works on Monday, how does he sign his name?
Who?
The guy.
Who?
How does he sign?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name that works on Monday?
No, what works Tuesday?
I'm not asking you who works on Tuesday.
Who works Monday?
One at a time.
Well, don't change the attendance.
I'm not changing nobody.
Take it easy, buddy.
I'm only asking you who's the guy that works on Monday.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
What's the guy's name that works on Monday?
Now, what works Tuesday?
I'm not asking you who works Tuesday.
Who works Monday?
I don't know.
He's working Wednesday, and we're not even talking about him.
Now, how the hell did you get to Wednesday?
You mentioned his name.
If I mentioned the Wednesday man's name, who did I say was working Wednesday?
No. Who's working Monday?
What's the guy's name that works on Monday?
What works Tuesday?
I don't know.
He's working Wednesday.
There I go. Back to working Wednesday. Okay, would you just stay on Wednesday and don't go off of it?
All right, what do you want to know?
Now, who's working Wednesday?
Why do you insist on who working Wednesday?
What's the name of the guy that works on Wednesday?
No, what works Tuesday?
You don't know who works Tuesday?
Who works Monday?
I don't know. Wednesday. Look, you got a Thursday attendant?
Sure.
The attendant's name?
Why?
I just thought I'd ask.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Then tell me who's working on Thursday.
Who's working Monday?
I'm not. Stay off of Monday. I want to know what's the guy's name that works on Thursday.
No, what's the guy's name that works Tuesday?
I'm not asking you who works on Tuesday.
Who works on Monday?
I don't know. Wednesday? The attendant working Thursday's name.
Why?
Because.
Oh, he works Friday.
Look, you got an attendant that works Saturday?
Sure.
Well, what's his name?
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you now.
Well, then go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
What time tomorrow are you going to tell me who works on Saturday?
Now listen, who is not working Saturday?
I am going to break your joystick arm if you say who works on Monday. I want to know what's the Saturday's man's name.
What works Tuesday?
I don't know. Wednesday. You got a Sunday attendant?
Certainly do.
And this Sunday attendant's name?
Today.
Today. And tomorrow's working Saturday.
Now you've got it.
All we got is a couple days of working. You know, I schedule attendance for work too.
So they tell me.
I look at the schedule and I see tomorrow works on Saturday. Now, Saturday, tomorrow calls, and he says that he can't work tonight. Now, me being a good scheduler, I asked today if he can take tomorrow's place tonight.
Now that's the first thing you said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. Look, if I schedule someone to work on Monday, somebody's got to get the job. Now, who has it?
Naturally.
Who?
Naturally.
so I schedule naturally.
No, you don't. You schedule who?
Naturally.
That's different.
That's what I said.
You're not saying it.
I schedule naturally.
You schedule who?
That's what I said.
All right, you ask me.
I schedule who?
Naturally.
Now you ask me.
You schedule who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Same as you. Same as you. I schedule who? Who can't make it, so I try to schedule what? What can't make it, so I try to schedule I don't know. I don't know can't make it, so I try to schedule tomorrow. Tomorrow can't make it, so I try to schedule today because why? I don't know. He's working Wednesday, so I don't give a damn.
What?
I don't give a damn.
Oh, he's working holidays. Yeah. So after we put the show together, that tape, we had an opportunity to show it at some actual.
We showed it in the lobby, at the actualized show. And we got some really great feedback from people, and they were like, wow, you guys should do your own show. And in fact, I think it was Bob Kafka that was really spearheading that. And he said, a show needs to be done in this town for people with disabilities, and about them. And, we didn't want to make it inspirational. I mean, Oprah Winfrey was already out there.
Exactly.
We just wanted to tell the stories of people and have people tell their stories. And, man, here it is 12, 13 years later, and this is what we've come up with.
We're an Austin institution. And you can see more of our shows at thegeneanddaveshow.com. So please join us there. And if you'd like to be on our show, well, drop us a line.
Yeah, send us an email. We love to hear about new story ideas and places that we can go and interview people and just kind of show what's going on in Austin.
Yeah, because there's a lot more clips we wanted to put in the best of, but there wasn't enough time. But check out our webpage, and we'll see you next time on The Gene and Dave Show. So long, folks. Oh.
Yes, this is a fishing rod. A fishing rod is something that fishers use to catch fish. You know what fish are, right? Yeah. This is used to catch them. This is called a fishing rod.
It's another refreshing day on the lake. We'll meet you back later, Gene.
And can Mom afford to have help preparing her meals? We know what you're going through. AmeriGroup has a plan for people with Medicaid that helps them get the services they need to live at home. AmeriGroup. Choose us for helping your loved ones live at home. Call 1-800-964-2777.